Not good, Donald. Drip, drip, drip. It's just going to keep on getting worse. Jeffrey Epstein's emails were just uncovered. Bloomberg got its hands on 18,000 emails belonging to Jeffrey Epstein's Yahoo email account. And it is devastating. It is really bad for Donald Trump. It is really bad for Ghislaine Maxwell, who tried to pretend yet again that she didn't know any of these things, despite being convicted of sex trafficking, sentenced to over 20 years in prison. And when she gave this interview, she was like, oh, I don't even know. Well, the emails show what an integral role she was playing in this all. Other individuals have been implicated as well. The British ambassador to the United States, Lord Peter Mandelson, was exposed sending all of these emails to Jeffrey Epstein's. Based on Lord Mandelson's connections with Epstein, he was sacked by the UK government. He was removed from his position. It's just fascinating to me that because of his connections with Epstein, that was viewed as a national embarrassment. He was immediately removed from his position, which was the right decision. It was the wrong decision to appoint him to that position, given those connections, but they uncovered it now fully, and now they've removed him from that position. Yet Donald Trump is in the Oval Office. Let me show you what I think is the most damaging part of this for Donald Trump. And I want to give a hat tip to all the great Bloomberg reporters who worked on this piece. This is real investigative journalism work. Great work. So here's the email, August 23rd, 2007. It's sent from GMax, that's Ghislaine Maxwell, and it's sent to gproject at Yahoo. That's Jeffrey Epstein's Yahoo email account. And they were trying to figure out what and who and how the federal authorities were investigating, what their methodologies were. This was around the time that federal prosecutors were going after Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein eventually entered into that sweetheart non-prosecution agreement with the Southern District of Florida United States Attorney Alex Acosta. And he eventually became Donald Trump's labor secretary during Trump's first administration. He was very close to Donald Trump, this Alex Acosta guy. Here's the letter, though, the email from August 23rd, 2007 from Ghislaine Maxwell to Jeffrey Epstein. It says, you have to assume they went to Donald Trump, then Gossman, the docs in WPB, Pascal, etc. G. So they're trying to figure out who is involved in this federal investigation, who may be witnesses against them, what does the FBI know? So let's just break down what this means right here. Donald Trump, Gossman, the docs in West Palm Beach, Pascal, etc. So first off, who is Pascal that's being referenced there? Pascal was this guy in this now infamous photo in Epstein's birthday book, the guy holding up the $22,500 check that was purportedly received from Donald Trump, joking about Trump getting a fully depreciated woman from these individuals. This is Epstein and a longtime Mar-a-Lago member. That longtime Mar-a-Lago member was Joel Pascal, joking about selling a fully depreciated woman to Donald Trump for $22,500. Pascal, a real estate guy from West Palm Beach, member of Mar-a-Lago, close friends with Trump and Epstein and all of these people. You see him in the photo right there. So that's Pascal. Abe Gossman. Who's Abe Gossman? Well, here's a photo of Abe Gossman, a healthcare real estate magnate. He ended up going bankrupt. I think around 2001, he filed for personal bankruptcy, but he bought a property in the late 80s from somebody by the name of Les Wexner. You know the name Wexner and who that is? Well, Leslie Wexner and Epstein were as close as can be. Les Wexner, the guy who founded Victoria's Secret, Wexner sold his plot of land in West Palm Beach in the late 80s to Abe Gossman, this healthcare magnate. Abe Gossman, then when he was going bankrupt, he was going to give that property to Jeffrey Epstein in 2004. They kind of had it wired through a bankruptcy sale, but Epstein was supposed to get this property for about $36 million. Epstein brought Donald Trump to check out the property because he just wanted Donald Trump's advice about the pool and some other conditions. But then Donald Trump at the bankruptcy sale outbid Epstein. Trump spent $41.5 million to buy the property. Epstein was pissed and this was when they had their falling out. Donald, I just brought you here to show you this property, not for you to buy it from underneath me. And Epstein was also surprised that Donald Trump could afford to buy it because as far as Epstein knew, Donald Trump was struggling financially, and Epstein was helping support Donald Trump after Donald Trump got out of certain business-related bankruptcies as well. Then Donald Trump just painted that property, and then only a few years later sold it to a Russian fertilizer oligarch named Rybolyev for $95 million. Trump quickly turned it around, sold it to a Russian fertilizer oligarch, Rybolyev, and Rybolyev then demolished the home, claiming that there was mold in it. Epstein suspected that there were financial malfeasance taking place in this transaction between Trump and Rybolyev, and perhaps Abe Gossman was eventually let in on it as well. That's where the falling out happened between Trump and Epstein suspected that Trump may have been involved in, again, some financial shenanigans there, to put it mildly, with the Russian oligarch. So when you read this message, and Ghislaine intimately knows what's going on. So when she plays dumb at that interview she did with Todd Blanche, "Oh, I barely know Donald Trump. I always knew him to be a great guy. I'm Mary Poppins." Look at what she's saying. You have to assume they went to Trump, then Gossman, the docs in WPB, West Palm Beach, likely the documents relating to this transaction. Pascal, a real estate guy who was also at Mar-a-Lago, the guy holding up the check about selling a fully depreciated girl with Jeffrey Epstein to Donald Trump in that heinous birthday book. So that email was found by Bloomberg. You would say pretty damaging, right? When I explain to you the full context of what that email suggests. Yeah, that could be a devastating email. That's why imagine what the hell is in these Epstein files. That birthday book was more vile than ever expected, and now we're seeing these emails. Hey everybody, Ben Meiselas here from the MeidasTouch Network. I wanted to let you know about my podcast partner, Michael Popak's new law firm. It's called the Popak Firm. Michael Popak's pursuing his dream of starting his own law firm, really based on the popular demand by all the Meidas Mighty and legal AFers who were approaching Michael Popak with their cases and saying, "Can you help us?" And at that time, Popak was not able to. So he went out on his own. He started the Popak Firm, where he is now handling catastrophic injury cases like car accident cases, trucking cases, malpractice cases, big negligence cases, wrongful death cases. So if you or someone you know have a case like this, the consultation with Popak's firm is free. Give him a call. See if you have a case. It's thepopakfirm.com, thepopakfirm.com, or you can call 877-POPOK-AF, P-O-P-O-K-A-F. So 1-877-POPOK-AF. Give Michael Popak a call. And I'm really proud of you, Popak. Thanks for all the hard work you're putting in. Also, as Drew Machora writes, he's one of the authors of this article from Bloomberg. He talks about how Epstein and Maxwell tried to have a baby in secret. She helped distribute $1.8 million in gifts and wire transfers to underage girls and powerful men. They coordinated efforts to discredit women who came forward, and she nurtured Epstein's ties to the world's elites. That's all in the emails that Bloomberg uncovered. So this is from Ghislaine to Jeffrey Epstein, September 19, 2007, after she said that she basically cut off her relationship with Epstein and she claims she was trying to distance herself from him. Lies. We see it right here. Your cup plus instructions are in the Oval Room. The sample has to be dropped off at 10, plus you have to fill out the forms. I would have filled them for you, but I was not sure what you wanted to put on them. Let me know if you want me to do anything. Here, about a month before Epstein was set to begin serving his jail sentence in the private wing of the Palm Beach County Jail in 2008, after entering into the Sweetheart non-prosecution agreement, Maxwell took pains to comfort and protect him as his lavish life was collapsing around him. She goes, on June 24th, 2008, I'm devastated. I can't even process. I know this does not help, so I'll stop now. Maxwell told the DOJ she stepped away from Epstein around 2003. That's what she just told Todd Blanche under oath. And that's what the Trump regime is citing as vindication for Donald Trump. But the emails show that they were emailing almost every day, even as he prepared to serve his 2008 jail sentence. Also, one email attachment, a spreadsheet, tracks nearly $2 million in spending. A $71,000 Lexus for Alan Dershowitz, a $35,000 watch for a Clinton aide, lingerie and wire transfers to teenage girls. How about this from May 23rd, 2008? It says, this is from Ghislaine Maxwell to Jeffrey Epstein. And in response to Epstein's asking what he should plead to, Ghislaine goes, this is May 23rd, 2008, basically 4 years after she said she cut off all contact with him. I suppose lewd and lascivious conduct. I would prefer lewd and lascivious conduct with a prostitute, if possible. They're almost making light of their sex trafficking ring, saying, oh, what should we plead guilty to in this sweetheart deal? Let's just plead guilty to lewd and lascivious conduct with a prostitute, because that's least bad. That's what they were talking. I'm not sure why I'm doing that voice, but that's what they were talking about then. Now you have the messages from Lord Mandelson, the UK ambassador to the United States, or I should say the former ambassador. This is what he writes. When are you going to the island at Christmas? I'm having trouble getting air tickets to St. Bart's and was wondering about going via the US, New York, or Miami. What are your plans, and do I fit into them? Okay. How about this one from Mandelson, June 15th, 2006. I find this impossible to believe, but the district attorney said yesterday that he had the wrong facts. This is from Epstein to Mandelson. And that even the allegations were much different than he thought. He was embarrassed and said that the worst they would do would charge solicitation, but in 2 weeks decide whether to drop it altogether. Mandelson was back in touch. Worried that I haven't heard from you. Are you seeing them off and winning, he wrote. Epstein replied with that email right there. And Bloomberg found more than 100 emails between Mandelson and Epstein that they published, like Mandelson saying, reminder, you are fighting back, so you need strategy. Remember the art of the war. Also, Mandelson's letters to Epstein were uncovered in the birthday book, which was subpoenaed by Congress. Notably, Mandelson and the United Kingdom didn't say, that was a forgery. That wasn't Mandelson's real words. That was a hack. The Iranians hacked and they did it. This was 20 years ago. Again, I'm not sure why I'm doing that Mary Poppins voice, but you get the point. Only in America, when Donald Trump is the one doing it, and Donald Trump is saying things that are far more vile and disgusting, perhaps, than even Mandelson, the Republican Party goes, he didn't write that. It was a forgery. So someone's going around with predictive powers of the future and forging Donald Trump's signature 21 years ago and planting it just for the perfect moment, knowing when Donald Trump would be hurt the most. Come on, what are we talking about? But this was from Mandelson, where he goes, he calls Trump his best pal. But whenever he is in the world, he remains my best pal. Once upon a time, an intelligent, sharp-witted man they call mysterious parachuted into my life. That was from Mandelson. I mean, what did Donald Trump say? Donald Trump's message, our secrets will always remain. They never age like enigmas, whatever the hell he said. And Trump drew the outline of like a little girl's body. Like Trump's letter was far more grotesque than this, in my opinion. And Trump said Epstein's a great guy who likes women on the younger side. That's what Trump said. And Mar-a-Lago was used as a location for the sex trafficking. Could you imagine if Lord Mendelssohn's home was used as the location for sex trafficking? Like, that's what Mar-a-Lago was used for. Also, as Drew Matrata writes, the inbox of Epstein's Yahoo account also showed more than 600 Amazon purchases, leather bullwhips, little girl school uniforms, prostate massagers, FBI agent costumes. I mean, real sick stuff right there. So you put that all together, form your own opinions, right? But that's the data. And Ghislaine, when she was, I don't have to play the audio of Ghislaine again. I played that for you tons of times before. But you remember what Ghislaine said during her meeting with Trump's criminal defense attorney, now the number 2 at the DOJ, Todd Blanche. I barely knew anything about Donald Trump. He was only a perfect gentleman. I cut off contact with Epstein in 2003. If the DOJ had a shred of credibility, which it doesn't, they would be screaming, this should be perjury, in my opinion. They should be, what are you doing? What are you doing? I think I laid out the case for you. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million, and thanks for watching.
New Meidas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.